Hey guys, so I debated on whether or not I should share this video. Um, First, I would like to say that this video may not be for you if you have not been through anything lately that has tried to pretty much take you out pain-wise. If that's not you, then please just keep going. This is for those who have had a hard time, who are facing some hard things, experiencing some losses, setbacks, betrayals, you name it. Like, life is putting you through it. If you're that person, then maybe stick around and just kind of hear what I feel I guess I feel compelled to share with you guys. So, my story goes way back, but we'll start with October of 2023. I am a military spouse and I have 3 children, 10, 11, and 5. 2 boys and a girl. Anyway, being a military spouse, there are times when my husband has to go to training. And particularly this October, he had been gone for some time. And I had just been dealing with things with certain people, and I was just getting to a place where I had started praying and asking God to show me who I am. Like, show me pretty much who I am, because I just wanted to know who I am so that I know what I will and will not put up with, if that makes sense. Anyway, with that prayer came a lot of trials and tribulations, I guess. And some of it was in the form of attacks on my youngest, saying just very nasty things about himself and how he didn't love himself and he hated him. Like, it just nasty, nasty things. And I prayed over him. I prayed over all my kids that night. I lost my grandfather that month. I think within a week, my husband and I had, it just seemed like everything seemed to be falling apart. And it became so much that I lost it. I I could I had to go to the ER because I was having panic attacks nonstop. And they kept asking me what was wrong, and it just felt like too much. And they suggested behavioral health, a stay in behavioral health. If you are military affiliated, you know what that means. If you are not, I will tell you that is the military's way of saying psych ward, guys. Yes, I spent 3 days in behavioral health or psych ward. And I, I, I was ashamed to say that. I was ashamed to say that, especially when it happened the second time, but we'll get there. I was ashamed to say that. And in there, I feel like I prayed for the current burdens that I was going through. I prayed over it. 3 days of just pretty much taking a break. And when I came out, I got back into reading my Bible, studying my word. I never stopped going to church. I grew up in church. I love church. I'm not a religious person, but I go for the worship. I go because God speaks to me. So I love church, so I never stopped, but I did stop reading my Bible at some point. But I started back, and this is how I know God was there, because after that, what felt like total chaos of a month. Oh, I forgot. I had to have surgery. So at the end of October, I had to go and have an endoscopy and a colonoscopy done. It went well or whatever. I get home. They told me I could go home and eat. I ate. I took a nap. Well, when I got up, we get our kids ready to go to this Halloween event. It's like a trunk or treat or whatever indoor thing. We take them, but when we get there, like my stomach starts cramping and it just gets worse and worse and worse. And I tell my husband that it's hurting, it's starting to hurt more, and he's like, okay, when we get there, you can have a seat. And I'm like, yeah, I'll go have a seat. I go have a seat, and then I get to the table and I start feeling nauseous. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I need to go to the restroom, So I call my husband, and he's like, okay, do you need me to come with you? I'm like, no, 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 I'm good, I got it. Guys, when I say I could barely walk to the restroom, I was crying. I know people were staring at me, but I just needed to get to the restroom. The pain was excruciating. Long story short, I ended up getting to an urgent care, and they did an ultrasound and said that there was fluid near my liver, gallbladder, whatever. I needed to go to the hospital. I was admitted into the hospital. They gave me something for pain eventually. And then I finally was able to go to sleep. Well, the next day they came in and told me they were going to take my gallbladder, and they did. They, I don't even think I had time to wrap my head around I was losing a gallbladder, what that meant. Like, it had to happen. So it happened. So that was something else I needed to recover from a surgery. Well, all of these things happened right before me signing up to do our church's Camp Triumph, Christmas at Camp Triumph, where we get to set up as vendors and sell items from our business. Well, I just launched my business this summer, so it was slow going because I want to take my time, get into it, do it right, do the research, and I am a busy mom. Like I said, I have the 3 kids, and I keep all of my kids busy. So gymnastics, soccer, basketball, from the extracurricular activities to their schoolwork, like we're on it. So I stay busy, but me wanting to do this business, like I was blessed with the opportunity to do it. So I signed up for this event. Well, then all of this stuff happened. And I am a person who, if I can't give it my all, I'm not going to do it. So when all of this happened and I was released from the hospital, I think it took me like a week or two to heal. My husband took off, so he was able to help. That time in that rest, I spent that time like deep in prayer and reminding myself like, okay, you wanted this, you have these obstacles, get it done. And guys, I was so afraid. Like fear can cripple me. It can hinder me in so many ways. And it has in the past. It has. But I decided not to let Satan win. And I think it became personal when he came after my kids. I think that's when I was like, oh, okay, you playing dirty, dirty. So now I need to be back in my word so that when you come at me next time, I can go down swinging, and we're gonna get to that next. So anyway, the event comes, and it is a success, guys. Like I go, I get my name out there, I pass out business cards, I earn more orders. Like it's and it hasn't stopped. I've been getting orders since. So it was a blessing. And then right after that event, my husband and I got to go to Dominican Republic for vacation, which I felt like was much needed after such a long year. And then I get into January and I'm like, all right, let's go. Like, ready to go. And then, life happens. Every day is not going to be sunshine. There are going to be rainy days, right? But what I have learned is that even on my rainy days, if I still praise God, I'm smiling by the end of my day. So even if it starts off cloudy and raining, the minute I praise and the minute I pray and the minute I get in my word and I read my word and he speaks to me and I know what it is that he wants from me, it's like everything else does not matter. Your purpose for that day is to go and make somebody else feel great, to touch somebody else, to give that homeless person water, 2 bottles, give them whatever. Like, do anything to make somebody else's day better. And when you have that mindset, there is nothing the world can throw at you because you know what your God wants you to do. So you're going to do it. And I'm sorry, I'm kind of venturing off. But what I'm saying is praising him through that got me to this point where my mom calls me one day and tells me that I've lost an uncle. Oh, whew, that I've lost an uncle. And talk about, like just imagine being at the top of the world. Like you're having the best day ever. And then all of a sudden, the pain is so great that the whole day is overshadowed. But I was sad, but I'm a believer. So I know he's in heaven. And then I had a cousin who coded. And she was on the ventilator for a little while. Now this is the next week, guys. So this is in 5 days. And on that same day, I had another aunt have a heart attack that put her in the hospital, and I believe a heart attack took her out. So that was 2 family members in like 5 or 6 days. And I'm like praying like, God, please do not take my cousin before I get a chance to see her. Because I don't live close to them. Again, military. It's just so happened that we're back in Texas. I don't know when we'll get to come back again, but we're back in Texas. So thank God that we were here because I was able to get there. But she passed on Sunday, last Sunday. Oh. So this video you're watching is me on Monday. My husband had left. He had to go for training or for schooling. And I had found out that I had lost my cousin. So those losses came after After what I believe I had was a mental break in February, I, guys, I had gotten so low. I had gotten so low that I was ready to just cease to exist. And I answered my sister's call. I had pills in the hand. And I answered my sister's call because I love my sister. And it would have broke my heart to not have heard her voice one more time. So I answered, and I just I just broke down. And that's the problem with being a person who internalizes everything and keeps to themselves and never show how they really feel. Like they just, all you see is the smiles and the happiness and the jokes and the silliness. Nobody sees the late nights of crying or hear the thoughts of self-doubt or self-hate or anything. Like that mental break led me to contemplate ceasing to exist. And because I answered my sister's call, I went and sought help. Going back to the emergency room, back to the psych ward. And guys, I'm not going to lie to y'all. It annoyed me so much that they recognized me. I'm like, my hair was different. Okay. I I don't know. I don't know why it annoyed me. But this time, I did not rush my grief. I did not rush the pain I was feeling. I did not. I allowed myself to wallow in all of that pain, and I'm gonna give. So I don't know how they do it anywhere else, and this is nowhere near like a civilian's behavioral health or mental facility. I can only speak on my experience, and with mine, it is not what you see in movies. It's more calm, and they have groups where you can talk. So there are times where they lock you out of your room to make you not just lay in the bed all day, which helped me because I would have stayed in the bed the entire time. But I got up. I didn't talk to anybody. I stayed to myself. I went and sat in those groups, kept my head down, and I just cried. The first day and a half, I spent it crying and praying. I spent it crying and praying and asking God, like, what happened? Like, where did I go? Like, how did I end up here? How did I end up at this place? And he showed me that I lost myself trying to be everything everybody else needed rather than just being myself. And when you're trying to be so many different things for so many people, yes, you forget who you are, what you like, what it is that drives you, what it is that motivates you. And then I started reminiscing on my childhood, like back to when, like, I was going to 7th Street Baptist Church, singing in the choir and praise dancing. The day I got baptized, like where is that girl? What happened to that girl? And I found her, or I'm finding her. She coming back. And I know that's God. And then after I got out of the hospital, I spent my 3 days there. And I told them, y'all, I'm not going back. I am not going back. I don't care what the world throws at. I am not going back. It's not awful, but I missed my kids. And I'm just not at a place I was before then. So the things that come at me now, I know how to handle because I got the word. Sometimes life hits you so hard you forget that. But I think that's why life will keep hitting you hard, or God will keep hitting you hard, because He's trying to show us that even when life is hitting you hard, that's when you need to be coming to me the most. And don't just leave when it get better, because then I'm going to hit you again and remind you. But once you get it, once you grab the message, like, I need you in my good and my bad and my sin when I'm not in my sin. When you start getting that mindset and reading your word, you start to change. You feel that change. You no longer want to sin. You no longer want to do the things you want to do. You no longer care about the things you once cared about. And that is what's happening to me. What you're seeing in the video is me going from weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning light. I felt so heavy when I first sat down at that desk. So overwhelmed with hurt. And honestly, I felt defeated. I felt defeated. Like I keep getting up every day. I keep doing right. I keep serving. I keep reading. I keep being positive. I keep showing love. Even to people. And God knows my weak spot is the car. I have road rage, but I have not cursed anybody. I have not honked at anybody. I have not tried to brake check anybody in a long time. So I am doing really, really well. There was even a time I wanted to chase somebody, but I did not. I did not. I used to also have a glass of wine every night. I think it was suppressing some stuff, but we not gonna get into that. But after I had been getting closer to God and praying that He take the taste out my mouth, He did. I don't drink wine. I definitely don't drink wine like I used to. I barely have it now. If I decide to have an alcoholic drink, it's a mimosa, and it's sensible. Okay, it's orange juice. I get my vitamins. Okay, the champagne not that strong, and it makes you sleepy afterwards. So whatever little buzz you get, you go to sleep and sleep it off. Right? That's my kind of drink. Okay, nothing where I'm, you know, vomiting. Okay, I hate to vomit. I hate it. So when I asked him to take the taste out of my mouth, he did. And I don't miss it. I don't miss it. And even some, like, I believe it was one of the weekends maybe for my daughter's gymnastic meet. Me and my husband had a glass of wine at the hotel bar, and yeah, the next morning I woke up just feeling sick. Not like overly sick, but just not like me. And I didn't like that. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I probably won't be drinking much wine either. Like I'll probably stick to mimosas. And then too much of that and I'm sick. So again, it's all about staying close to God, in my opinion. We're not perfect, and I don't believe God expects me to be perfect. I believe He expects me to be me and to serve Him while I'm being me. Does that mean go out and sin and expect Him to forgive me? No. No. That means that I go every day out into the world and I choose to listen to the voice that will result in good rather than selfish gain. With it, in that, and I guess I mean that in a form of self pleasure. So rather than going out to receive things, I'm going out to give. I'm going out to spread love, to give joy. Um, and I know you guys are probably like, you probably find that hard to believe. But if you lived in my little town and you saw me in my Walmart or my Sam's, you would see me bopping to my music in the middle of a store because I do not care. I even had a gentleman in Sam's ask me, "Hey, what are you listening to? Cause you really jamming." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, this is Isaac Curry in the middle." And I'm like, "You weren't expecting that, huh? A gospel song? That's right, sir." And that's because if I wasn't listening to gospel music, I'd be listening to secular music and dancing to that, giving it glory, and I don't want to do that. Like it to some people that may be overboard. That please, guys, this video is not to pass judgment or to be judged. I'm just trying to share my story and the things that I've been through, or some of the things I've been through, and how I feel it has helped me to still be here today, because I could have not been. And that thought is kind of scary, to know that I let the devil take me that far. Which led me to the next day, Tuesday. So the day after making this video, I was like, I had a great rest of my day. My daughter's in gymnastics, and then my son has soccer. So like I drop her off, go to soccer, and then go pick her up. Like, so we had a great evening or whatever. Well, the next day, I just didn't sleep well. I had been waking up at like three in the morning, and so I went and dropped the kids off, and I decided to just take a morning and just kind of like nap. Well, in that nap, I had two disturbing, I'm gonna say nightmares, because the feeling of them felt evil. It felt scary. It felt demonic, if I'm honest. And I don't even want to repeat them, because I don't want to give it any more energy than me just mentioning it was two really bad dreams. But it was so bad that the first dream, I felt the only way to get out of it was to call on the name of Jesus. And so that's what I did repeatedly. Whatever was on me was not moving, and it's not like I did not go down swinging. So how it initially happened was, something came at me and it seemed innocent, and I reached out to hug, and then it became demonic. And when I realized it, I started swinging, like punching in the air, probably in my sleep, maybe not, I don't know. But I was swinging until I was pinned down. And that's when I started calling on Jesus, because it had overpowered me, and I need the power of Jesus, okay? And that's when it lifted. It got up off me. And I woke up for a second, and my eyelids were so heavy. So I almost felt like I was still in a dream. And the dream just kind of shifted, and it went to a whole nother energy, to where something demonic was now whispering in my ear. And I'm like, no, Jesus, no, rebuking that, no. And I rebuke you, Satan. I rebuke you, Satan. That's what I said until I woke up. And when I say, guys, and I don't know if you're a believer, if you're listening to this, if you're not, you probably scrolled away already. But if you're a believer, when I tell you I woke up, guys, I was shaking, my body shaking, tears flowing. I called my mama. I'm like, "Mama, help." I'm going through it. All this pain is consuming me. My thoughts are trying to get to me, and moms, right? And to everyone who has lost their mom, I can't imagine. I cannot imagine that pain. And I feel like saying I'm sorry won't do it justice. But I genuinely believe that someday in heaven. So I don't know, guys. I had to go through some things, and I feel like I'm not even through it. Okay, I'm making this message mid-storm. Okay, I don't know what tomorrow gonna bring. I don't know if Sunday is gonna be great and Monday gonna sorry, rain hell, and I just don't know. And because I don't know, I stay prayed up. I stay reading my Bible. I stay in my word. Because remember when I said I was at the top, feeling like I was at the top? Everything is was good. Like that's me finally being out of the shadow of losing my papa in October and everything I went through. That was me being finally at the top. And then just like that, being thrown into chaos again. And when that happens, if you're not already praying and staying in your word, it can take you out. It can make you fall so far you think you can't get back up. But I'm a believer and I'm living it. That in the midst of all of my pain, and my husband's gone for 2 months right now. So I'm single mommy in it. Okay? To all my single mamas, shout out to y'all. you you queens out there. Shout out to you. And shout out to you wives that are married too. You are queens as well. I just wanted to share that. Even in the midst of all the heartbreak, the pain, the losing of friends, the losing of family, the losing of jobs, you name it. If it is something that causes you distress, pray about it and then let it go. Because if you got fired, there's nothing you can do about that. You fired now. All you can do is find another job. Pray about it so God can give you that better job. The other one was probably stressing you out anyway. I don't know. Like I said, I wasn't going to post this video. I wasn't. I went in recording, forcing myself to work on an order. Shout out to you, Kendra, because who knew that this would help me get out of my funk. I started shooting this just to record myself making an order. But once the music started playing and my spirit started hearing it, it was like I needed the cry. I needed the praise. I needed the worship. And I needed the prayer. I'm not sure if you guys saw it, but there's a point where I'm sitting at the desk and my head is down and my hands are moving. And that's because I was praying. I was praying over everything, over my situation, over my family members who just lost somebody so near and dear to us. After losing two more, I remember saying to someone at gymnastics, it's almost unbelievable saying to people, or not people, because I was informing Addison's coach, that she would miss practice just because I couldn't socialize. I couldn't be that positive person that's always sitting up there and listening and laughing and joking. Like I couldn't be her. I was hurting. And if I'm hurting and I feel like I just rather not be negative around other people or bring bad energy around other people. Because I don't know about other people, but I feel it. If somebody else is down, I can kind of sense that they're down. And I guess I just never want to do that to anyone else. So I would have to let him know that we weren't going to make it to practice or whatever. And I remember telling her, like, it is almost unbelievable for me to repeatedly say, yes, I lost a loved one. Yes, I'm okay, even though I'm not okay. Like, it was a lot, guys. It was a lot. And I'm probably rambling now, so I'll probably wrap it up. But if I could leave anything with you guys, is that God knows what he's doing. I don't know. I have no idea why on the way home from dropping off my youngest, I had the idea to just not go into bed and cry, which I told my husband I was going to do. I told my husband I was going home and I was going to lay in the bed and I was just going to cry. And in the car on the ride home, something was like, just make the shirts, okay? If you cry while making the shirts, fine. But make the shirts. Just make the shirts. So I'm in here and I'm making the shirts, and then I start crying, and then I start praising, and then something says share it. Share it anyway. Even though it's not what you want to share. Share it anyway. And I'm like, but I'm scared. I I don't like being judged. I don't like people negativity negative comments being thrown. Like I'm a person who I guess wear her heart on her sleeve. Like I genuinely care for everyone, and until you show me you are not a person to be cared for. And like I said, I'm getting closer to God. I'm still in the midst of my storm, which means he is still working on me. Okay. So please know he's working on me, which means we all have time. We all have time to conquer that fear, because fear has kept me from posting quite a few videos. Yeah, it's kept me from posting a lot of videos. And I don't know why this one's different. I don't know. And I don't even know if it'll get any views. Actually, I don't care. I already told God I'm posting it, and if it gets 0 views, okay. And if it touched 1 or 2, great. Because it's not about me. The message is clear. Praise him in the middle of the storm, and your day will get better, because joy comes in the morning. It says it in the Bible for a reason, y'all. And I told myself that I was going to post this video and not look back. And even now, I have so much apprehension. I don't know why I care what people say, because it only matters what God says. So I guess that's my answer. So I guess here's the video, guys. This is my video of me in the middle of my storm, conquering fears, pushing through pain, and finding joy amongst it all. Yeah, so have a good day. Be blessed.